Okay, hello.
Hello, my friend. How you
How you-
doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. Starting my day
Nice and early with the mate.
nice and early with the mate as usual.
Salud.
100% certified Argentinian.
Okay. So my name is Ben. Here today with Santiago on
Mm-hmm.
backpacks and stories.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for coming. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, as you said, yeah, my name is Santiago, and yes, I think I left Argentina on 2017, I would say. Yeah, around 2017. Since then, um, I lived in Europe 2 years, and then I moved to Australia, where I live now. And I've been living here for the last 4 or 5 years. And on the first year of that group of years, the first year, at the end of that year, I met the gentleman over here.
So yeah, it's been nearly 5 years. 5 years in
December.
November. End of
Yeah,
November.
December 2019.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Long time. I was thinking about that recently. That when when we first met, how we were in such different places in life. You know,
Yes.
you were 27,
I was, yeah.
27.
27 or around 27, yeah, 27, 28, yeah.
I was thinking, but do you feel
You were
like you were?
19?
I was 19. Yeah. Do you feel like you were conscious at that point, like the impact of what you might say to people who were so much younger than you?
Mm, yes and no. Yes and no. You are like, for me, for myself, I think I'm conscious of, when you give a good advice and when you say something that has a positive impact in someone, but at the same time, younger people, you need to be aware that you have to increase the what you're thinking. What's the word? Yeah, it's just bigger. They're more sensible, and it's just I think that they get a bigger impression of what you're saying. So you need to be aware of that. Yeah, in all ages, like from 18 to 17 or 14, whatever the teenager years, all that stage, yes. But even before pre-teenager or kids, whatever you say, it has a huge impact in them.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why can you tell me why you first decided to leave Argentina?
Um, Living in Argentina, I would say frustration. One word.
Hmm.
I was frustrated. Living in my family house, so I wasn't paying rent. I tried a business with an uncle, but
Hmm.
it didn't work out. So that was that business I tried to do when I was 24,
Yeah.
and I went through that the whole thing, very very stressful times. And at the same, like the whole experience was great, but I think I was just too young. Still, still I like it. I'm proud of the experience I took, the ambition. Like just trying to look for the hit. Like something that success. This one didn't work, and I still, I stepped up and I get through that. But then after that, I was just tired. Just
Yeah.
tired of all this wearing down process of business and things like that in Buenos Aires. Besides this, uh, politics were going down at that time, um, and then I got another job, which was super super interesting, really good people and everything. But again, money wise. was really difficult. I was able, like literally, doing my managing my economy. I was able to save $100 every month.
Yeah.
$100 every month, so you get 1,200 a year. If you want to buy a car, you need three, four, 5 grands.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
this is gonna be a long, in my mind was like this is gonna be a long process.
Yeah.
It's like it may not be enough. And then so all these things, all this frustration plus I almost get robbed around my house 2 times. That
Mhm.
also helped me to detach myself from my neighborhood.
100%.
And besides this, I was studying industrial engineering, going nowhere, like doing repeating a lot of subjects over the years, and then getting some of them done. By my projection, at 24, my projection was to finish the career at 30 years,
Easy.
get the career done.
You started at
And I'm
18.
like, I started at 18 and I was supposed to finish at fucking 30. So I was like, I got 6 more years doing this, doing uni. I'm not saving anything. So for the next 6 years, maybe I'll get a nice car, and then that's it. Or
Yeah.
maybe I won't be able to save, and then I can move out of my family's house. And then at the same time, through the with the politics how were they going, I was seeing the country go down for the in the future.
Yeah.
So all these things combined, I say, you know what? My dad lives in Spain at that time and still now. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go with my dad, and yeah, just gonna go there.
Mhm.
See where that takes me.
Yeah.
I need to just to stop with this frustration, and that's what I did.
So how old were you again when you arrived? When you first arrived?
24, 24, 25.
Yeah. And you first
Yeah,
went to Spain, and you were there for, was it 6 months?
Spain, a little bit less than a year, say
Yeah.
9 months, something like that. Yes, but it was still in the family nest.
Yeah.
Spain
Yeah. Yeah.
was a bit of a just a slightly step forward, because I was still living with my dad, with my stepmom, with my sister. Family house.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying rent, and I got a job. So I ended up having a job as a waiter. My first job in hospitality, which was a life changing thing.
Mhm.
Hospitality. Would you believe that? If you say like you're a waiter, it's like irrelevant. But then for me, it was a real change. It was it opened a door that opens a bit of possibilities in my
Yeah.
life. Just to be a waiter, crazy.
So you went from being able to save $100 a month to how much were you able to save in, was it in Barcelona, no?
Um, I don't know how much I was able to save, but the thing is, basically, the inflation stops.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something for someone that lived in Argentina all his life. Um, so you got that in your mind, you got that in your brain. If you got five pesos or whatever it is, you know that eventually you need to do something with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, it will just vanish from your hands. But then you go to Spain, and then you go 1 euro, 1 coin, and then they tell you like it's January, and then in December it's gonna be the same. It's still 1 euro. You're like, oh, wow, okay. It's all these extra thinking to manage money based on inflation. You don't have to think it anymore,
Yeah. In
and you
Argentina,
lose a lot
you're
of.
always buying dollars though.
Yeah, for your savings. Yeah, what I was saying before. You need to buy if you want to save. So you buy some $100 or whatever it is you can buy,
Mhm.
and then you put it on side, and then you leave it there for years or whatever you want to do. But you can't do that in pesos.
For sure. Crazy the peso.
But yeah, anyway, so I would say that the main change moving to Spain was all the economic stress that I lost. That was a really nice, huge relief. That was
Mhm.
very good. Yeah, yeah, that was a positive change. And friendships, really nice friendships in Spain. That was also really nice. That's something that you discover as well when you travel, when you go to somewhere else to live. Eventually, you make new friends, and
Yeah.
then you go through the whole process that you usually go when you're in high school. Like meeting new people around you. Now being an adult, so this will be instead of classmates, is workmates. But you
Mhm.
can still get nice friendships, even a best friend.
And
And
in your circle there in Spain, was it quite international? Or were you hanging around lots of Argentinos or lots of Spaniards?
no, Spanish mainly, yeah. Spanish mainly, and my best friend was his background was African.
Mhm.
Which one was the country? I don't remember which one was the his family's country. I think it was Nigeria.
Oh,
But
yeah?
anyways,
Wow.
yeah. So this guy was the chef in the restaurant, and I was the waiter. We start hanging out, and then I met his family, his cousins, everyone around. Beautiful people, very
Mhm.
nice. And yeah, and another thing that you get from traveling is the feeling of getting accepted, but other people different to you.
Yeah.
And I felt that. So that was the first time I felt it in Spain, with the Spanish people in general, with the not Spanish, with the Catalans.
Yeah.
My group of friends were all Catalans, proper Catalans, and then this new friend from work with the African background. So I have those two were my group of friends.
Did you learn much Catalan?
No, nothing. Only a little bit, just for the just to serve in the restaurant.
But
What would you like to
can you
drink?
understand?
No, I would say no.
No? Really?
It gets really complicated. It's a mix of French and Spanish, but like the Spanish is completely changed. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's like a Spanish. I mean, I would understand more Italian, definitely more Italian rather than Catalan.
But you did also
Catalan, no.
grow up with a certain amount of Italian, no?
Yes, yes, but the language is way more similar than Catalan,
Interesting.
because of the I would say because of the French influence in Catalan. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That was
And
a bit of my first year
how
living
how
there.
did you feel culturally? Obviously, there is a lot of Spanish influence in Argentina, but more Italian. How did you feel going to a completely did it feel like a completely different culture in Spain? Everything completely different?
Yes, 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 yes. Something that happened to me in Spain that didn't happen anywhere else in other countries I live.
Mhm.
But again, not in Spain, Catalonia. In Catalonia, people are lovely. Like all the friends I had, everyone was very nice. You socialize, but you socialize in a different way than in Argentina.
Yeah.
You're not as close as in Argentina. You're not as touchy. It's just different codes. It's not
Yeah.
like one is wrong and then the other one is good. It's just different. So socializing in Catalonia is a little bit colder than in Argentina. You
Okay.
respect the social distance. So for me, coming from Argentina, you take that in your unconsciously, you take that as a rejection, as a
Yeah.
social rejection. But again, you got your friends, you hang out, you go out, you do the social life, but the social life as they do in Catalonia, not as they do it in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
So then you need to adapt to that. You need to change your perception, which is not easy. because socializing is not about thinking. It's not about make sense. It's just what you feel.
100%.
You know. Yeah. So that was a proper challenge. You know. Yeah, difficult. I would say difficult. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to then, because the next step of your journey, you went to the UK, right?
I went to the UK. Yes, sir.
So that was must have been another big culture shock, because I think that we are definitely even colder than the Catalonians.
Yes, but I felt more affinity with English rather
Yeah,
than the Catalans. More similar. The mind, the mindset, similar, and I don't know. I empathize a little bit with the British struggle.
yeah,
The how would you say, the melancholy they have in life. All
everything's
this thing
great.
about everything is like, it is what it is. What you gonna do? It's,
I
um, but again, it was a bit of a particular experience. I think it was more special than the one in Spain. In Spain, it was just general life, like something that you would expect when you move to. So I moved just outside Barcelona, a big city, Mataró, a big city, the whole thing, normal standards. But then in England, it wasn't that I moved to London or Manchester or a big city. I went to the middle of nowhere, like literally. I was living in a place, Constantine Bay. So Constantine Bay is not a town. It's not a small village.
mhm.
It's just some land.
I would have no idea if you told me the name Constantine Bay. No
This
idea.
place is a holiday place. Rich people, they have the fancy houses all around. But I was going running around Constantine Bay in 25, 30 minutes, doing the whole place around. So very, very small. And there was all only people going for holidays there.
Yeah,
There's no mall, there's no center of the town CBD, or there's no supermarket to that level. There's nothing. There's only one shop at the bus stop. That's it.
the
That's the
corner.
city. Yes.
And why did you choose this place?
Oh, just by luck, just by
I love.
random. Um, so in Spain, at the restaurant, so this is the connection from Spain to England.
Mhm.
In Spain, I was the only one able to speak in English in the restaurant. So then, based on that, my thought was, okay, so I can go to England, do the same job I'm doing now, and then make more money than the money I'm making in Spain. In Spain, you make roughly €1,000 in hospitality.
Mhm.
Working full time, usually is €1,000. So if I go to England, I can make more, same job. And I didn't think farther from that. But then the experience gave me so many more things. But that was just the idea. So
Yeah,
what I did, easy work. What I did was I contacted a working agency. So they got me the job. I paid them. I gave them some money. They got me the job, and they told me, you can go. You can go to London or any big city, or we can take you to the countryside. So I say, what am I going to save more? It's like, if you go to the countryside, you won't be able to spend any money because you're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing to spend.
yeah,
If you go to London, then rent is going to be expensive, and then you are in London. You're going to be going out and this and that, whatever you're going to be spending. So it's like, okay, take me to the middle of nowhere. They got me this hotel, and this hotel was in Constantine Bay, just by itself, just one lonely hotel there. And that was the beginning. I remember my first day. I arrived to this place, so I took a bus from London
yeah.
all the way to Cornwall. Bro, I don't know, it was like 8 hours or something like that in the bus,
Long way.
all the way down.
Thinking,
I
where am I
arrived to this
going?
I arrived to this hotel, didn't even know. So I stopped at the I left the bus at the bus stop. Then I
Yeah.
have to walk maybe 2 3 streets. I found this hotel. It's already dark. It's already 6 or 7. It's completely dark, and the hotel is closed. So I'm like, so what now? I don't have a number. I don't have anything. And I don't know. I don't remember how I managed to get a number. I called someone, and then someone came to welcome me. The
Yeah.
first person that welcomes me in the countryside in England from Spain. Second person I met from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yes,
Who would have thought that would be a random Venezuelan and Spaniard in the middle of nowhere in England?
yes. And then at the end, so this Venezuelan guy, part of his family was there. He's got a few cousins and friends and people around. There was like a small community of Venezuelans in this place in the middle of nowhere in England. Um, so this is another thing, what I was telling you about my friend, my African friend, like feeling accepted from another community. The same thing happened with the Venezuelans in England.
Yeah.
Hanging out and being together. You start to pick up the you know the how they interact, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the different customs that are different to you, and then you start to pick them up, and then the food and this and everything, the whole thing.
Was this the first time you'd met any Venezuelans before, or had you met some in Argentina or Spain?
No, the first time.
Wow. Wow. And did
Yeah,
you get them drinking mate?
my friend from Africa in Spain, I would say
Yeah.
yes, yes, he was drinking mate with me. The Venezuelans, no, they just didn't like it.
You were
They were,
the first person to ever give me mate.
there you go. Wow.
Great drink.
We make such a big thing about it, Argentinians. I
Mhm.
think I know the countries as well, but yeah, it's funny.
I don't think anyone. I mean, maybe the Uruguayans as well. Maybe it's just as. I don't know. Who do you think is really bigger for Argentinians or Uruguayans?
I would say no, same level.
The same
Those two
level.
countries, yeah, those two countries, yeah, 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 yeah. Mm.
Paraguay as well, but they drink more terere with
Yeah,
cold water, ice
you
water.
do, you do have it in other countries as well, but like Brazil is just the south of Brazil. Chile
Yeah,
is just the south of Chile. Then in Paraguay they drink terere, they do a bit of a mix, but then Uruguay and Argentina, very similar countries.
yeah. Always
Yeah.
agua caliente.
Agua caliente?
Yeah, you're always drinking mate with hot water, not cold.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Yes,
terere
sir.
in Argentina is with orange juice, cold orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
And do you like terere?
I don't dislike it, but it
But
doesn't attract me.
you would never prepare it.
No, 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 no. If you prepare it because you like it and you want to share it with me, yeah, okay, we can share it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I would, if I do it by myself, like you see here, you got hot water, you got the mate, that's it. Easy life.
If someone prepares mate with sugar, do you drink it or no? You would rather drink mate with. You would rather not drink mate, or you would rather drink mate with.
I will stab that person to death. And then I'll drink the blood. I'll put the blood in a, in a boiling machine, and then I'll make some mate with. Uh, no, no. Once you get used to drink
Yeah.
mate without sugar, it's done. You can't go back. It just tastes strange. But something I can do, drink it with honey, which is
With
sweet.
honey.
Yeah, but honey is one sweet, and then sugar is another sweet. They're different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
But
no stabbing.
when you when you first started drinking mate as a child, did you ever drink it with sugar, or you just went
No,
straight
straight to bitter. Yeah,
normal
but it
mate?
depends on your house. You don't choose that. If in your house they drink it with sugar, then that's gonna be your first impression, and
Hmm.
then you go from there. But for example, in my house, no, like
Oh,
my mom is the one that drinks mate.
yeah.
So from my mom, we drink mate, but she never used sugar. Never, never. So
Your dad
yeah,
would
that's
drink
why
mate.
my dad.
Yeah. Did he never like mate?
Yeah, yeah, he drinks mate. He drinks mate, but I grew up with my mom.
Yeah.
Um,
How old were you when he went to Spain again?
little kid. I would say five,
Ah,
6, 7, something like that. So my dad, yeah. So my dad went. Just to add up to the story. So in Argentina, there was a big crisis in the 2001
mhm.
bankruptcy of the state at that level. Imagine a national state saying like, guys, we're bankrupt. This is it. We're selling the house. So by that time, just before that, my dad went to Spain. Same as I did, same
Mhm.
as we did, like leaving the country, looking for other opportunities, just to have a look. He went to Spain, and then that happened in Argentina. So then he ended up staying a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, and his girlfriend at that time ended up following him to Spain, and then a little bit longer, they ended up getting married, and that's it. And then my sister came along. They got my sister, uh, and that was it.
Yeah.
They've been living there for the last since then, basically.
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah, plus 20 years.
27 more or less, no? Ah, but you said it was around 2000.
2001. Yeah,
2001.
23 years.
Years. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Long time.
Long time. Does he still drink mate now?
Yeah, everyone drinks mate over there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My dad, all the years he's been in Spain, always drinks mate.
Always drinks mate.
And my sister, yeah, she got the even for her, being Spanish, fully Catalan,
Yeah, yeah.
she drinks mate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got the culture expanding from that side
Yeah.
as well.
Well, there are heaps of Argentinians in Barcelona now as well, no?
Yeah,
Full of
yeah.
Argentinians.
I would say, yeah, Argentinian immigration it's a big thing anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, regardless the country. You can say England, you can say the States, you can say Spain, Australia, anywhere. Because of the regardless your situation, economically, you're not happy.
Yeah.
Just to keep it like as simple as if you're satisfied, regardless your situation. If it's really bad, regular, okay, no one is satisfied. No one is happy with it.
Yeah.
So then anyone that has a bit of ambition, or they want to be, or they want to have some, what we talk about, the all the thinking, the extra thinking that you have to do based on the economy.
Mhm.
Just because of that, many people just go somewhere else.
Because you
You
don't
know,
have to worry anymore.
they look for relief.
Yeah.
And again, maybe your situation in Argentina is not bad, but then they go to Spain because they wanna be relieved of the stress of living in Argentina.
Yeah.
You know, so it's many factors. Yeah,
But don't you? What parts of the life do you miss from Argentina? Because you go back on
social life.
the social life.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Social life is beautiful. Number one, it's first class basically.
Hmm.
People. I don't know because you can't talk about the whole country when my life is in Buenos Aires, in the city. I can tell you how the lifestyle is in the capital, even in my neighborhood. People go out almost every day. Not like going out, not like going out like a clubbing or whatever. They
Okay.
go out to socialize. They socialize going out almost every day.
Yeah.
You go out for a beer. You go out to drink some mate to your friend's house. You go out to grab a bite, get a burger or whatever. You go out because you're gonna go play football with some friends constantly. You socialize maybe 4 times a week.
It's intense.
Yeah. It's intense. Social life is a big thing, you know. Yeah, and I think that that's something that you realize once you left the country. Something beautiful. That the quality, I would say, the quality of social life in Buenos Aires is high. It's very good.
It's
Yeah. People know how to live. You know,
an amazing city. It's maybe
beautiful.
my favorite city still that I've ever been to. Amazing people, amazing food, amazing culture. Even the city,
Yeah,
just to walk around Buenos Aires, it feels amazing. Just you can zone out and look around you, take in the architecture, think about the history, everything. It's a city like no other, really.
it's a very deep city.
Hmm.
When you think of it, you have no idea. Even like for me, growing up in that city, I didn't realize how many things you can do, how many underground culture you have around the city is deep. Is deep. Like, I don't know, you like jazz. You can go to places in Buenos Aires where jazz is deep, is really high quality jazz. Very talented people
Hmm.
playing in places that is not about money. It's not about fame.
It's about
They just
passion.
play. Yes, it's just about the jazz. And jazz is one thing. Then you got another one, acting. Yeah, acting or stand-ups, same thing. There's a whole underground there that you can go to, like you can go to a house in Palermo, and in every room they're playing something. There's someone acting there by themselves, doing something, improvising or doing, and like this and on and on. How would you say, experimental cinema, like
Mhm.
cine, all this again, many things. In politics, any like social groups, or like small parties, whatever the ideology it is, you can find it. You can go and talk and debate.
Yeah.
It's very rich. You see that there's like in all these small words, you find them in the city. You just need to um look for what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very diverse, and it has something for everyone. It really does.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really, really beautiful city.
Very nice, very nice.
So let's skip ahead a
Hmm.
bit of time and talk about, um, well, this year. This year we last saw each other in Argentina,
Yes, sir.
in Miramar.
Beautiful summer. Yes.
It was really lovely to spend some time with your family there and see the seaside, the beach. Um, See another new part of Argentina for me, and to obviously catch up with you. So after that time, you went back to Australia, and
Yes,
do you
sir.
want to talk a little bit about your current goals, your current path?
Okay. So yeah, well, the first thing is, yeah. So we usually, since I left Argentina, um, besides the years of the pandemic, 2020 and 2021, the rest of the years I always managed to go back for holidays, on Christmas and New Year. I always try to go back.
Hmm.
And it's the yeah, I think it's living outside, far away from your family and your friends. I think is the best for me. Is the best thing I can do. The best place for my holidays, rather than go where anywhere else.
Yep.
And so yeah, Buenos where we met, Miramar, the little town in the on the shore of Buenos Aires province. Beautiful place, very special for me. My grandparents, they built a house there. I don't know, man, in the 60s, 1960s or something like that.
Long time ago.
Yeah, very, very, very highly traditional, I would say, for my family. Like
Hmm.
my mom was there when she was a baby. I was there when I was a baby. All my siblings. That it's very, my uncles since they were kids. All my cousins. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My parents, they met there. They met in Miramar.
Yeah.
I was created based on the city. Yes, yes. But yeah, all right. So that was just Miramar, and where we caught up this last summer. But you were asking me about my time back in Australia, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, all the years I've been here in Australia, I did always a working holiday visa. So working holiday visa, you work as much as you want, you travel, you enjoy life, no
Hmm.
problem. Now the situation changed because now I'm in a student visa. So my plan is to study, so then I can apply further on for residency and the whole thing. So it's a different perspective. It's more, you like a long term project, and more of there's not much traveling anymore because
Yeah.
now because I live in Perth and I'm studying here. So you need to stick to college. You can go 2 months to Tasmania and then 2 months to any other place, and then backpacking around the country, which is beautiful, but now is not the time.
All the time.
Anyway.
Priorities.
Yeah. And so yeah, 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 life is different compared to all those backpacking years,
Hmm.
and it's more of a normal life, I would say. What we were just talking before of the interview. So now things are not changing. Usually, when you're traveling before, when I was traveling before, every year or every couple of months, I would say every couple of months, things change. You go to another place, you meet new people, you got a new job, uh, you got new adventures. Everything changes every
Yeah.
6 months, every 4 months, whatever it is. Now it's just normal life. I got the same. I got a nice job that I will stick around until I finish my studies. I got my studies that I will stick around until beginning of 2026. That's 2 years. And then I got my house. I don't live in a hostel anymore. I'm not changing, moving around. I got my house for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So everything now is just constant.
Hmm.
And when you're used to traveling and like having different experiences and this sense of constant changing, you need to readapt and slow down and just to be patient, trust the process.
And work hard for it.
Yes, and work hard for it. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, I think this new stage of my time in Australia is just about patience. Get it done.
Yeah.
Get the 2 years of the studies. Get used to my house. Get used to this new job in hospitality again. So if we take it from the first job I got in Spain, now I'm back in hospitality. You see how useful it is for you to get a casual job.
Yeah.
Hospitality will always give you a hand.
Yeah. 100%.
I learned that. Yeah.
I think it's a job where you have to be flexible. You have to learn to adapt. You have to be able to deal with people both on both sides. You have to deal with the front end and the back end of hospitality.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
it's good, and I think it's really good that you have the stability now. If we look in between these years during the pandemic, did you I don't know, because I know we've talked a lot about this over the years, but did you residency wasn't necessarily on your mind when you first got to Australia? In the first couple years, you didn't think that you would want to be hanging around and get residency and maybe a passport one day.
Not at all, not at all. I came to Australia for 1 year.
Hmm.
Then I was going back to Europe. I was going back to Argentina, do my holidays, and then back to Europe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Ireland was the country I wanted to go. I ended up staying here fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, Australia changed the plans in many ways. Not in just a way that say, oh, I want to stay in this country because of money, because of the how they live here. I went around the country. I live in Sydney first for about 6 months or something like that. Then I went to Tasmania, where we met. I stayed in Tassie for 4 months, roughly.
Hmm.
Then the pandemic started. The pandemic in Australia, for me, from my experience, maybe without exaggerating, maybe was one of the best times of my life.
Yeah.
The pandemic, the pandemic, that was a really tough time for most of the planet.
Yeah.
Most of the people around the world, they had a really tough time with this. For me, just because in the place I was doing volunteers and traveling all my way up from Sydney all the way to Brisbane.
Hmm.
Living with different families, living in the city, living in the countryside. Like literally, I live with wallabies. Like living between
Yeah.
wallabies for a week and a half. I live with horses for 1 month or two. Like literally making breakfast and lunch for horses every day. I got kicked by one horse, full strength. Nothing happened to me. I don't know how I managed to avoid that one. Um, but yeah, 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 yeah. That 2020 ended up being an amazing accumulation of experiences, traveling a lot. And then after that, what did I do? I went back to Tasmania. Then I did Darwin, Adelaide. I traveled around the whole
Yeah.
place, the whole country. There's This country is a continent country. There's many things. There's many places to go, many cultures, different ways of live life, communities, everything. It's
It
just
it's really I I've been talking a lot with some friends about this recently. The Australia for us during that time period, it was amazing. We really had it so lucky being in such an isolated. We were in a bubble. We were really really lucky because people weren't coming in the country. They needed us. We could work in basically whatever job we wanted. You
yeah,
just
yeah,
got
yeah.
a connection, and you could get a really good job, and it was so free. It was so free. For me, I didn't have to wear my first mask until the end of like 2021 or something, it was really. I was in Queensland, and then going down to Adelaide, we had to wear a mask there for some reason. It was just we were so fortunate, and we didn't even. I think we took it for granted sometimes, because we didn't know anything else. Obviously,
Yeah.
we were in contact with our families and our friends in other parts of the world, people who had gone back to Europe or South America, and they had to live the reality of the pandemic. We
Definitely,
heard
yeah.
stories, but we never had to experience that. We never had it difficult.
For us, I think in Australia, for us, most of Australia, the pandemic was on the news, but not on our lives.
Yeah, just Melbourne and Sydney.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then the rest of the country was just doing normal life. Keep an eye on the news and be aware of it. but from
Should be
far
alright.
away.
Should be
Hmm?
alright, mate.
Being alright, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. And so after that, I think my thinking started to gravitate towards the residency and the long term when I moved to Perth. So I
Yeah.
moved to Perth. I started working in this in the mining industry in Western Australia. Australia mining is huge, and I started working there, uh, making better savings, and uh, and I start thinking, about my future. And something very important to highlight about Australia, in my experience, everywhere I've been, I may have lived in 6 different cities, I would say,
Yeah.
maybe more. Everywhere I lived in Australia, I always felt accepted, included, regardless the community, regardless the state.
Mhm.
And that feeling just went through all my experience here, and maybe that's why I started to feel that I could live here long term,
Yeah.
and uh, and yeah, moving to Perth, I think another sensation that you have from Perth is the most isolated city in the world.
Yeah.
It's just one city in the middle of nowhere, like literally. So you feel the same feeling as a backpacker when you were in the pandemic in Australia. Like like you this like selected group. You
Yeah.
only you're only you just feel special. There's no many around. And with Perth, you feel the same. This is the only big city in Western Australia.
Yeah.
And you feel like this thing that is the city is growing, is developing. You're part of it. You feel part of the development. Like when I came, like literally when I came to Perth, where I was living, there was a bus station, just a bus station. Now the same bus station, you got a bloody university on top of it. It's just massive, huge. When
Yeah.
I came here, that university wasn't there, didn't even exist. So you see,
Kinda crazy.
it's just growing everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's something, they're doing something new.
You've been there
And
have you been there just over a year now, a year and a couple months? Or did you go there first before you went back to Argentina in at the end of 2022?
so I moved to Perth at the end of 2021, just for a month,
Okay.
just for a month. Then I went to Argentina. 2022, I started my life in Perth, but doing FIFO. So with these FIFO things, so people can understand, FIFO, fly in and fly out,
Yeah.
these mining jobs. So you catch a plane from Perth, and then you go to the middle of nowhere to do the mining jobs. From 2022 until the beginning of this year, I've been doing that on and off, and so then basically you don't live that much in the city because
Mhm.
you're always flying. And I would say this year is my first year that I'm actually living in the city, like doing things.
Yeah.
I got a football group, I got a tennis group, I got my friends. You hang out, you live in the city. I go to the gym, I know people at the gym. Like I have a routine in the city now. Before, when you do 5-4, it's not you're not living in the city because you're always living.
Yeah, you're just hanging out for a week or 2, and then that's it. But
Exactly,
from the
yeah.
sounds of it, it kind of sounds like you are managing to, kind of reconstruct the social side of Argentina that you miss.
Hmm. Yes. Something that's something really interesting that I always try to do here. And again, this feeling of acceptance. Um, in Australia or even anywhere I've been, I always try to uh, offer how I socialize,
Yeah.
offer my the way I interact. And in Australia, I would say with locals and foreigners, they both take that. They both accept your offer of the way you socialize in Argentina, to being close, to have meaningful conversations, not just the chit chat or just something superficial, to have a real friendship as we do in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just me. How do I talk or whatever it was, but I'm able to to get like yeah, meaningful friendships with people that maybe they weren't used to that type of friendships. And again, regardless if it's an Aussie or if it's someone from another country, um yeah, I think that here culturally in Australia, they just open to whatever your culture it is.
Yeah.
You know what? They say that Australia, it has like a lack of culture. Like there's no like traditions or things. There's many traditions and culture in Australia, but what there is as well, there's a big space for new cultures, for
Yeah.
new traditions. So you can bring your own, and then people will accept it.
100%.
Culturally, it's more open to new stuff. There is a
100%.
big difference from Australia to Catalonia, for example. When I was living in Catalonia, people are beautiful. You get your friends, you get everything. Social life is all good, but they have their way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they know how to socialize. They like how they socialize. So you were invited to socialize like them. This is how we talk. This is how we interact. In Australia, it's a bit of improvise. We do it like this. But if you want to change some stuff, yeah, change. It's all right.
Like, what do you bring to the table? Let's hear it out and give it a go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of your circle now, your friend circle, is it
Yeah.
definitely a mix of Australians? You have some Latino friends. You have European friends. Is it just a mix of all kind of cultures? Would you say?
Yeah, bit of a mix. Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. So something that you can find in Australia is big communities, regardless the country. It could be, like a South American or just Argentinian, uh, French communities within the backpackers. Speaking within the backpackers. Yes, all these communities based on countries. You can find that a lot, a lot, a lot. But for myself, I think I was always just open to, regardless the country, just open to anyone.
Hmm.
Whatever I could become friend, then we go. So I never stick to one community in particular. And maybe because of that, now my friends, I got friends that are from Czech Republic. I got another friend from the States. I got French friends. I got
Hmm.
Argentinian friends. Um, yes, but I never got into this the community thing.
Yeah.
I always felt like just going by myself, making my friendships individually, and just yeah, like that. Maybe I don't know, just feeling more free. No
100%.
attachments to a group, to a social group. Maybe.
I think it's also something that's really important that I personally would describe it as somewhat of a responsibility when we are traveling, that we should go and educate ourselves, and we should go and meet people from different cultures and different countries, because what is the point in traveling if you're only planning on spending time with people from your own country? When we've gone so far, when we've made this transition, when we've left our lives behind, why do we want to go and find the same thing and the same people that we left behind, you know? Of course,
Completely agree.
I understand sometimes it's nice to be comfortable, sometimes it's nice to share jokes in your own humor and your own culture's humor, but all the time, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and you see that quite often in Australia.
Yeah.
At least I would say at least three communities come into my mind, which is the French, Argentinian, and English. They stick together. You can see it all around the country. They just stick together for for the whole year. So then it's like maybe so the English they could take advantage of speaking the same language, so they're not that close, but they stick around as a British community. But then with Argentinians and French, they're more close because they speak their own language.
Yeah.
The typical thing that you get in Australia is you go to one hostel and you got all these French people speaking French. So then you're never gonna interact with them more than say hello, good morning, or whatever, and then that's it because they speak French all the time. You don't understand French,
Yeah.
so you won't be able. And then Argentinians is more or less the same. They
You see a
speak
couple
Spanish.
of
Yeah, you're gonna see the mate all around, and people will speak Spanish. So then, maybe people from South America or the Spain, they can jump in and interact. But then all the other languages speakers, English speakers or whatever it is, Asians, whatever, all the other countries, there is a language barrier there.
yeah,
And these communities in particular, yeah, you can see them all year long.
all year
So they
long,
they go outside.
all around the country.
Some others they just like to keep the same community they had in their countries, have it here, and they're happy with that. For me, my opinion is just different. As you said, I agree with what you said. But some people, for some reason, they just like they like it that way.
Well, it is the comfort zone at the end of the day. For some people, is they
Yeah,
they don't want that experience. They don't want to break out of that comfort zone. For them, breaking out of the comfort zone means leaving their country, but they don't want to leave everything behind. And they feel like maybe by integrating, they're gonna lose parts of their identity, which I don't think that to be the case. I think it is more, about adapting and learning. I think in these nearly 5 years that I've been traveling now, I would never change it for anything. I would never want to live the same life that I did before. If I'd have stayed in England, I would have been miserable. I would be miserable now, having lived through the
hmm
pandemic and everything. And I'm so grateful to have met the people that I have. People like you. When we met, we were living in a very rural place in Tasmania. We were 12 of us living in our building. It was
yeah, yeah, roughly, yeah.
it was you, an Argentinian, and then there was one from Chile. We were four from England, two Koreans. Who else was there? There was Frenchie,
El,
an Italian,
yeah, uh-huh.
an Austrian, another English girl. Like it was so mixed, and we were to share.
International. Yeah, that was that was an amazing experience for me. That one was my first experience as a backpacker in Australia. And
Mhm.
talking about what I was saying about these communities, the Italian, the French, the French, the English, and the Argentinian communities. So another community that you have in Australia is the backpacker community,
Mhm.
which is huge, maybe one of the biggest in the world. All this concept of traveling together, doing the farm jobs and the whole thing as a community, like
Yeah.
all together. For me, When I came to Australia, I didn't know about this at all. I
No,
didn't even know that it existed.
no,
Nothing. I came to Australia based on a suggestion. I moved to Sydney, got a job in hospitality again, living in the middle of the, living in CBD, normal life. Got an apartment, the whole place, just normal life, same as Europe, no
yeah,
changes. And then because here to do the extension of your visa, you need to do the farm job. So then I ended up doing some research. I found that I can go to Tasmania and get the farms done. I still moved to Tasmania without knowing about this backpacker thing. Just I go there, I got my job, my farm job done, and that's it. I continue with my visa.
hmm
And when I moved to this place where we met, yes, I got to know the backpacker experience.
yeah.
Living as a community all together, traveling together, working together. No, beautiful. Like literally, it opened my eyes. I did. For me personally, I discovered something new.
Yeah. But sorry, when you first arrived to Sydney, did you stay at a hostel at all, or you moved straight into the apartment?
I stayed in a hostel that was full of Argentinians,
Ah, okay.
so I didn't have the backpacker experience there. Full of Argentinians was a good time, and then 2 weeks later, I got a job. I ended up moving to this apartment, and that was the end of my experience in hostels
Yeah,
at that time. At that time, and then after Tasmania, after those 4 months living as a backpacker, that was it, man. I lost it. That
yeah.
was it. Yeah, no, no, no. Since after that, I was like, I want to keep discovering this life.
hmm
And since then, I stay on traveling, and anywhere else after that, it was just with this, feeling part of the backpacker community. And it's not only in one place. Like, it's not only in Tasmania. I ended up later on through the years. I went to Darwin, where I stay 4 or 5 months,
Yeah,
and it was the same theme with a different group of people. Beautiful, man. We lived together in the same hostel, roughly 20 to 30 people.
yeah.
For 4 months, we live all together as a community. Everyone being friend to each other, traveling, going party, having dinner together, working together. Beautiful. No, just beautiful.
It's a
Yeah.
really, it's a really special life, and it was a special time. I think now it has changed, just because of after the pandemic. I think probably partially some of our faults, telling people about the amazing experience we had, and then everyone wanting to rush over there, but also everyone who had the idea in Europe or South America before, and they were trapped during the pandemic. Then as soon as the
Yeah.
doors opened, they just went there as soon as they could. And I had I had wanted to return to Australia this year, but my plans have changed now, and I think that's okay. I would like to go back for sure. I have still many friends over there. You're there. I have other friends living in Perth and Sydney,
Hmm.
but sometimes we just have to follow our gut or our heart or both. And I think right now to start over in Australia is very difficult.
Yeah. 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 It's always, I think that when you're traveling and when you have this type of life that we have, like making these big changes every couple of years or every couple of months, you need to be aware that always you win some and you lose some.
hmm
You choose whatever you choose, you're losing something. There's something that you can't choose at the same time, and that's part of the decision making that we have to make. That we have to take in the life that we have. If you live in the same city all your life, then you don't have to go through these things. Like
Yeah.
you want to be close to your family. You want to be far away from your family. You have to say goodbye to, I don't know, your girlfriend at the time because she's going somewhere else, and you wanna go to another place, or you wanna stay and she has to leave. Same with friends. Same with friends. You got your best mates. You're having a great friendship, and then I don't know. They want to continue traveling in, I don't know, Nepal, and then you want to stay here because you do something else, and then you have to say goodbye. You want to keep making money? No, you want to travel. All these things, all these big options, that you
Yeah.
choose. I think it's just part of the life that we chose.
100%. And we realize that we have to choose. We can't have everything that we want. We can't have everything all at once. We have to make
Exactly.
decisions. We have to make hard decisions. I understand anyone has to do that in their style of life, but I think definitely in the life of immigrants, when we're still making that decision that we know that our country isn't right for us. I've known that I wasn't meant to live in England for a long time. You can ask my friends, my family from England. Everyone knows that I wasn't happy there. And
Hmm.
even now, I felt a lot more confidence that Australia could be the place for me until I left,
Hmm.
because it was the right time for me to leave. But now, having passed this time, so it's been, I've just finished up 2 years outside of Australia, and spending 1 year in South America now. Um, I'm currently living in Canada. More than anything, I miss South America so much. I miss so many friends down there. I miss the culture, the food, the people. Everything is just a different vibe in South America. Um, and for now, I'm here in Canada, in Montreal, and still trying to figure everything out. I know that this probably isn't the place for me either, but I had to make a decision, and I had been moving around for a long time, and it was time to just stand still for a while and say, okay, it's time to sort some things out in my life. That that's the other thing when you're moving around like we do when we're traveling,
Hmm.
living this more temporary sort of life. There are a lot of problems that arise in our journeys that we don't deal with because we don't. It's so easy to push them aside and say, okay, well, when I stop, I'm gonna sort out X, Y, Z. But when you stop, you have other priorities like, oh, okay, I'm here now. I need to find a job. I need to find housing and stuff. And then your time flies, and then you're gone again, and you haven't sorted out the problems. So that's where I am now in terms of that, trying to staying somewhere for a bit longer and making the hard decisions.
Hmm. Just give me 1 minute. I need to connect the computer. I'll be back in a minute.
No problem.
There you go, beautiful. There you go. Sorry for that.
No
Done.
problem.
Done and
So
dusted.
where in the world do you really want to see if you had to choose a place to travel? Where would you choose?
Nepal.
Nepal.
Yes, I want to go. So my desire is to go to Nepal just to do some trekking around mountains, and just get to know people living in towns there. Explore Nepal.
Hmm.
That's one trip that I've been fantasizing for a long time,
Hmm.
and because of personal projects, the long term situation to get it solved in Australia. And every time I got some free time, I always prioritize to go back to my family. So Nepal is always there. waiting for me at the back, you know.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, yes, yes, as an adventure, where do I want to have my next adventure? That I'm lucky to say I had many adventures in my life, traveling in Australia and even before. Um, but my next adventure, the one I'm looking forward is Nepal. Yes,
Yeah.
just to go there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Sounds really nice. But you don't know when.
Yeah. No, I don't know when. It's just at the back. It's just at the back. You know what we're talking about before about the patient. You know, get these 2 years done. Um, First, first is that 2 years to get that done. Finish that, and then figure it out. What's next towards the residency? What do I have to do? That may include 1 year, maybe two. Uh, you know, that's the plan. Get that done, and whenever that's done, yeah, man, I would love to go back a bit of the style of the lifestyle I had before, just traveling. Don't thinking about the long term plans or money, whatever it is. Just travel, just go on adventure, go explore.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful feeling when you're just doing that. You're just doing that for the sake of it. There's no nothing behind it. You're not chasing anything. You're just exploring.
Yeah.
Discovering something new for you. Beautiful.
And the world's a big place. So much to see.
Oof, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing with that word. Discover. When you discover something new for you, it opens possibilities that you weren't aware of them. You didn't know about them.
Hmm.
Just because you went to this new you did this new thing. Now you see them. It's like you light this dark room, you light it, and then you see, because you light this dark room, now you see there's more doors. You
Yeah.
can follow all the paths. If you don't light the room, then you don't see that there's other ways.
100%. 100%.
Literally like that. And that feeling, it's extraordinary. You rediscovering new parts in your life, being an adult. What's better than that?
Yeah. The life without responsibilities in a formal sense.
Yeah.
Do you feel do you feel like life goes faster that way or when you're in one place?
Sorry.
Do you feel like life passes us by faster when we stay in like what you're doing now?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Or the time before when it was more movement, things were flowing more?
I think, yeah, no, definitely. When you have a strong routine, life goes faster. When your routine is small and it changes all the time, life it just slows down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by the it doesn't mean that one is good and one is bad. Just because you constantly doing something new, challenging yourself, life slows down because it's more, I don't know, it's just more a little bit more difficult. When you go to your routine, and maybe you have a beautiful routine. Maybe you got your family, you got a job that you like, you got your dog, and you go out to the park, whatever it is. You got a beautiful routine. But because everything is sorted, it just time flies. But when you have to sort it out, okay, so when am I gonna leave next month? What's the budget? Okay, so I'm moving to this place. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to the mountains. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go. What are the base places in this place? You go there, you meet new people,
Mm.
maybe new friendships, or maybe, I don't know. You got a new relationship, and then all these things makes time to. I think that you live more in the present when you have all these new things constantly. But that doesn't mean that when you have a nice routine, it's pointless. A good, a strong routine could be beautiful as well, but I think it's more difficult for us to stay in the present. You
Yeah.
know,
100%.
Um, yeah, but yeah, yeah. I think I'm always in these matters. I'm always with this thinking that it's not like one is good and then the other one is bad. It depends on you. What's the best for you at the moment. And the only thing that I always talk with friends, the only thing that is important, crucial, is that you need to be uh, you need to be the one taking the choices,
Yeah,
taking accountability of what's happening. You you need to be the one choosing the options. That's if it goes well or if it goes bad, there's no one to blame. It's just you. And if you make a mistake, you took one option, you took one way, and it ended up the way that you like it. But you can say, you can't blame someone else. It was you. And then
yeah.
every experience will always gain you anything. You always learn something. But the most important thing for me is you're the one making the calls. In your life.
So that leads me into another question. Do you believe that we have free will over our actions? Full free will.
Um, I on based on my life, I would say yes. Yes, I think I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to um, did everything I did. You
No?
know, no, I think I was supposed to just get my uni done in Buenos Aires, get a nice job, and then live all my life there. Get a house and get a family. I think that was what society wanted me to do back in my city, based on my education, based on my social group. Um, just just uh, just to say no to what the system or what society tells you should do. Just to say no, because for me was uh, I chose my way
Mm,
without anyone, without any friend or any family member saying like, you should follow me. Let's go this way.
yeah,
I just decided with uni, with everything over there that was through my life at that point. I said just fuck it all. I don't want to continue this life. Like literally, I don't want to continue this life. I want to change my life, and it's not from one day to another. It's a whole process. But I choose to say, you know what? Yeah, it's done. Just
yeah.
because I say so. It feels
It's
so powerful, regardless if it goes well or not. But just to say I'm the one choosing. It
mm.
feels very powerful.
I think it's something that I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure if we really do have that we do make those choices or if the things were always meant to be like this. I don't know, and it's not something that we can ever know. But I do think you're right that it is about perspective, and we have, even if it isn't true, we should treat it as if it is. We should treat it as if we are making every decision by ourselves, and that it wasn't meant to be this way. But that does make me think about something else that it's always piqued my interest. For example, we take North Korea, right? And you
Yeah,
think how there are people who who escape from North Korea. Like the only information they are ever given them is from the government. The only information they're ever given is that they live in some kind of utopia. I don't know. We don't know exactly what they know, the information they know about their country and the rest of the world. But how and why is it that some people decide to question that and decide to escape? What is it? Is there some kind of gene that we have, like an escapist gene that just wants us to defy everything and just go against the grain? Because when you put it like you did, it really does remind me that we are a very small minority of people, people who do decide to emigrate. um not a lot of people want to do it, and even if the situation in their own country isn't good, they will still stay because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they don't think of it any other option, you know?
Um, yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's like yeah, yeah, yeah. Based on the system. I think that we don't live outside the system, but we live sort of the edge. We live on the edge of the system
Mhm,
because again, you're not meant to travel around the world and just live your life based on experiences and no, you're supposed to like what everyone will tell you is to live in a place and you establish yourself in a place.
mhm.
That's usually how society works anyway. But for us, this thing of like starting over just by the pleasure of it, you live a couple of years in this country and then a couple of months in this other country and then you go here and then you go there. Is really intuitive.
Mm.
And yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's yeah, free will. I think free will takes a big role in how we live. And most of the people they don't even think of it. Maybe maybe they do have an idea, because of like people from like not North Korea, but like anywhere else when they have internet and they can see travelers and this and that. But one thing is seen on YouTube when you're having a coffee at the end of the day, and then you have your normal life, and then another thing is actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but personally for me, uh, now you see now I'm more established, I'm more within the system, you would say. But the fact that you can feel the freedom of choosing whatever you want to choose, whatever to do, whatever at whatever the time it is. um I think it feels great. And why why some people do it and other people they don't do it? um I don't know. I think it's just random. Some people they choose. It's not about it's not like oh we're better than the others that they don't do it. Some people they don't just think about it, they don't consider it.
Mhm.
um but for me, I think that what I was chasing doing all this traveling is just to put some make it meaningful, my life. Make it more like that. I remember so one like a crisis of existential crisis I had from 18 until 24 with my uni years. So I was doing uni, I was working, living with my family, and from 18 to 24, it went like 1 month. Boom, done. What we were talking about, how fast time goes when you have a routine.
Yeah.
So I was, I don't know, I was doing 4 hours of uni plus 8 hours of work, and then you have to sleep, then you have to eat, whatever it is, done.
Yeah.
Time was flying so fast, and I didn't like that. The fact that you can say, oh, the last 4 or 5 years, it's been exactly the same. It's been
Yeah.
exactly the same. At least for me, that wasn't meant to. I wasn't meant to continue that life.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something in me trigger the change. Because
Mm.
many people would say, oh yeah, yeah, I feel the same, but life is life. And then they continue with their life, they move on after that crisis or small crisis, whatever it is, or this thinking, they just move on and then continue the life. Life is like this. Okay. I don't know, they have a glass of wine with some friends, they talk it over, they continue with the life.
Yeah.
um but I think that for us, there was a trigger. There's always you need a trigger.
Mm. But do you
Something happens.
feel, sorry,
Yeah, no, no.
uh, do you feel like when you entered the university at 18, you had any idea that you wanted to leave Argentina, or at that point, no?
No, not at all. Yeah, no. No, I was meant to get my uni done, get
Hmm.
everything done, and through the experience of university, first thing was I got a real good job on my during my early years of uni.
Yeah,
So then what happened to me was my job was more important than my career, because I was doing more challenging stuff, more difficult stuff at work rather than uni. And then uni starts to go on the second, on a second chit at the background,
yeah,
where your focus is in your job, is in this challenging thing that you're doing.
hmm,
And then another thing that was really negative about my experience in uni was the teachers. I didn't see myself in the teachers. I saw people that were they try to success in their profession, they fail, and then they just went they took the teacher job as a second option, as
yeah,
a life safe best,
yeah. Like a
you know
last case scenario, last resort.
yeah, just because they couldn't make it on whatever they want to make, they got the teacher job just to survive,
Yeah,
and that and yeah, so then that example, I always felt separate from that. I never like it.
hmm,
This thing for me, to have a teacher, you need to look up to him, or to her. It has to be someone that you're saying like, oh, look at this guy, I want to be like him, or want to
hmm.
be like her. If it's not like that, I think that you just naturally lost interest.
For sure. I can understand that. You want to be able to feel their passion in the teaching. Because if you
Yeah,
don't feel the passion, then if you don't have that passion to begin with, and you're not getting it from your teacher, then it's not going to go very far at the end of the day.
yeah, 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 yeah. It is like that. And so yeah, 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 yeah. But I think that it's, yeah, going back to this, the concept of the trigger. Even for us, like traveling and doing this, other people, they trigger it. The concept of that is the beginning of a change,
Hmm.
you know, and it could even happen if you have just a normal life, um, living in the same place, not traveling. One friend of mine, so he lives in Barcelona for the last couple of years. He travels same as us. He traveled all around the world. He crossed Russia completely
Wow.
from one side to the other. So now he lives in Barcelona. Normal life, normal, back to normal guy, everything. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know how he got into this sport, football. So you play football on the beach, on a
Yeah,
volleyball court.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how. What triggers this? How did he try it the first time? Now his life is based on that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
he made his lifestyle based on this sport, and it's amazing. You see, so for him, at this with this example, it's just not about this. Like, you don't have to go to another country and do this crazy thing. Something could happen in your routine, in the place where you live, and then your whole life just takes another,
Oh,
direction.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's very interesting,
How everything leads into one another is. I think that's why I do feel more on the side of like everything happens for a reason, because I feel like all of these things that happen to us, which kind of feel like coincidences, I feel like they were meant to happen, and they just caught us at the right time, and we kind of get there's something that pushes us, some kind of force that pushes us in the right direction. But again, not something that we'll ever know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like for example, with you, like doing this podcast, this could be the beginning of something. Like you can start with so this one is the first episode, which is I feel very thankful to be here. But this could take you into another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then the direction could change, and then you can start like sensing which direction, which topics you want to discuss with certain people, and on and on and on. You develop yourself through that way.
I think so.
And
I hope so.
yeah, and it could be just like this, just starting a podcast. That could be a trigger.
You know, it's funny that we've kind of gone full circle now, and I think even the first time, maybe not the first ever time, but when I was in Argentina with you, and I obviously I've talked about this podcast idea with you for a long time. Since we first met, I've mentioned to you that this was an
Yeah.
idea I wanted to, and it's taken me so long to really get started. Nearly 5 years later. But when I first saw you in Argentina last year in Buenos Aires, and I met your uncle, and he asked me to be on his radio show, and I'd been speaking Spanish for just over a month at that point, and I didn't have to, but he asked me if I would be on his radio show, and we did a 10-minute interview in Spanish. And I have no idea how many people heard that. I have no idea who heard my voice. It didn't matter. It was a cool experience. Um, so now it's amazing to be able to get to do this first episode with you. And yeah. So I just wanna we're gonna wrap up now. But before we go, I'm gonna ask three things of you, okay?
All right.
So the first thing I want to ask you is, can you give a message to everyone in Spanish?
In Spanish.
Yeah, can be any words, anything that comes to mind, just something free from your heart.
Um, just in general, like something, whatever comes.
Yeah,
Oof, it's difficult. It's difficult. Yes. Because the thing is, if I say something in Spanish, they wouldn't understand.
right.
Any English
That's okay. That's
people
okay.
understand in English. Yeah. What can I say? Let me think. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to say.
Okay, I'll give you a
Not
second
sure
to
what to
think
say.
about that one. I also want you
Okay.
to come up with a question to ask the next person.
Okay. And
Right.
then the other one, the last one.
I want you to answer that question yourself because I don't have a question from the last person to ask you.
Okay. Okay. So the question I wanna ask to the next person would be, would you change anything from your life,
Okay.
of your actions? If you have a chance to change anything that you did, would you change it?
Okay.
That's my question.
And how would you answer that question yourself?
I I thought of that question many times. I think my first answer would be yes, but then the real answer would be no. I think good and bad experiences, they just they develop yourself
Yeah.
in whatever way. It's not about improving; it's just developing. Developing is not like improving or getting worse or whatever. You just flow. Developing is just you grow,
Hmm.
whatever the direction. And I think the actions that you take, even if they ended up the way you like it or the way you you weren't expecting, they still, going back to what I said at the beginning, at the beginning, at one point, um, I'm satisfied being the one taking the decisions.
Hmm.
And then if they go well or not, I was the one making the shots. And I think everything helps you to grow. So I wouldn't change it. I
You,
like it like this.
you hold yourself accountable.
Yes, I hold myself accountable. And the thing is, if I wanted to change something, I wouldn't change it. I would try to do it in the future.
Yeah.
That's something as well that is crazy. I mean, that is really important to realize that whatever you didn't do in the past, you can't change the past. The past is done,
Hmm.
but you can always try it again in the future. You're able to do that, And most of the people, they say, oh, I couldn't do it before, so then that's done. It's that door is closed, and it doesn't work like that.
No.
You can try it. You can try it over. You can go and take the decision you want to take. You're free to do it. Everything is possible. Um, so trying is always worth it, I would say.
Yeah.
And then something in Spanish. Um, something in Spanish. You want a sentence? You want an explanation? What do you want? A word?
Anything that comes to mind. Some
Everything
words
like.
that that resonate with you in Spanish.
I I want to try to get something accurate. Um, I would just take. I would take. I would take this sentence. Um, vivir la aventura.
Vivir la aventura.
Vivir la aventura.
Sí, sí, sí.
Aventura, aventura could be a proper adventure. Could be just normal life.
Hmm.
I think what I'm trying to say, live the present.
Yeah.
Make everything worth it. It could be something, you can be living through a great experience, or you can be living through just, normal, regular life, but there's still everything is an adventure if you think of it.
100%. 100%. Everything from waking up in the morning to going to bed at night to not going to bed at night to waking up in the
whatever,
afternoon. Everything and anything.
whatever, yeah. Whatever you do, yes, you can turn it into adventure, for sure. It
100.
depends on the mindset. The mindset is everything as well.
Everything's up here. Okay. Well, thank you so much for today.
Very good.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and yeah, I hope to do another episode with you again at some point.
I would
And
love to. Yes, I think I spoke a lot about myself. I would like to have in the future to make another episode, and we can go a little bit towards your direction, your personal life. I wanted to ask you many things when I was talking about myself. Like, I think that we have a different beginning of the meaning of our travelings.
yeah,
Um, because for me, you can see that I'm always going back to Buenos Aires. I always go back. Even that I have some points that I don't agree with the city, I still go back.
yeah,
There's many things attaching me, and but your experience, I think, is very different to mine. About why did you leave your city, and what happens? Well, what do you think about your country? But let's leave all that conversation for
for
the
the
next
next.
episode,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
we can go into that in the future.
100%. Well, thank you so much, man. We're gonna wrap up here for today. This was backpacks and stories.
Thank you
I
so much, Ben.
stop recording.